Hello everyone and welcome back to another book review. First of all, if you're new here, I post new book reviews on both fiction and nonfiction books almost every single day. So if you're looking to follow book reviews on a wide variety of unique books, or if you just want to get some reading inspiration for these winter months that are coming up for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, then feel free to stick around. Today I'm going to be reviewing another entry in a manga series that I have been reading. It's volume 35 in the series Haikyu by Haruichi Furudate. This is a sports manga, and again, as evidenced by the fact that I'm on volume 35, I have been reading it for a while. So if you would like to get caught up to speed with this series, I have the reviews of volumes 1 through 34 on my channel, and I am going to assume you don't mind if in this review, in you watching this review, I kind of spoil things that have happened so far in the series. With that disclaimer out there, let's dive into volume 35. The team that we are following in this series is Karasuno High School. They are a boys volleyball team that has made it to the Tokyo tournament, the Tokyo Spring Tournament. This is something they have been working for. This is something they have earned their spot at, and they are clawing their way through this tournament to get as far as they can and hopefully win the whole thing. But there's a lot of teams that stand between them and victory. And we are playing one of the teams that Karasuno High School has run into before. So Karasuno High School, in coming to this tournament, is playing a lot of teams they haven't played before, but all of those teams earn the right to be at the tournament, so none of them are necessarily easy to beat. However, with each round that the tournament advances, they're playing a team that beat all the teams before them, so the tournament does get harder and harder. However, Karasuno is coming off a huge mental win. They beat Inarizaki High School, which was one of the favorites to win the whole tournament, and now they have this confidence that they can do it. However, after coming off that mental high, they are now, in my opinion, in a little bit of a mental block. They're playing a school that they have played before and they have familiarity with, that is Nekoma High School. This is the high school that they have not been able to beat before, and they are having to run into that mental game of, can I beat this team because it's not a team that I have beat before. As predicted, now that we're in the spring tournament, the games are taking a little bit longer to complete. We're not getting a game completed in 1 or 2 volumes. We're getting more like a set completed in a volume. So volume 34, we got set 1 completed, and set 1 ended disastrously for Karasuno. Karasuno has never been in this position before where they've won a game where they've dropped set 1, at least in the tournament. That was mentioned by a character in this book, so I hope I have those statistics right. Karasuno has never, for a game they've won, they've never, in the Tokyo tournament, they have never dropped the first set. That's what the character said. So to be in this position, to be backs against the wall, they know if they lose set 2, they are out of the tournament. When you win set 1, you still have to win set 2 because volleyball is best of 3 sets. Or if the other team wins set 2, then you need to take set 3. But when you've already lost set 1, your backs are against the wall because if you lose set 2, there's no breathing room. If you won set 1, set 2 has some breathing room. If you lose set 1, set 2 has no breathing room. So now Karasuno has no breathing room and they need to win this tournament. I think the difference between these two teams are what they're very, in the words of some of these characters or some of the dialogue in this book, tenacious about. Nekoma High School has a tenacious defense. Karasuno can do everything right on their offense and they still can't score because Nekoma has an amazing defense that they just continue to wear down. And if you play good defense, the other team can't score, eventually they'll be forced into making an error, such as hitting the ball out of bounds, resulting in Nekoma getting a score. So they're kind of forcing Karasuno to make errors in their offense. But Karasuno has a very tenacious offense. They're willing to give it all every single time they go up to attack. All the players, including the decoys, are willing to go up and give it their absolute everything, which leads to a tenacity in that. They're both very tenacious, but about different things. However, if you think about it, Nekoma has to be mentally on their game, and it is tiring to play defense, but Karasuno, because a big portion of attacking in volleyball is spiking, which involves a jump and then hitting it, they're taking a lot of effort each time they have to jump, and if they have to jump 3 or 4 times before they're able to get a point off the other team, they're spending a lot of energy, and Nekoma can kind of do this war of attrition against the other team. The game is very tight, it's very stressful, and I think as the reader, knowing that they don't have that buffer in set 2 kind of leads to a lot more suspense, and I loved volume 35. I feel like, as evidenced by the cover, the mastermind of volume 35 is the setter for the other team, Nekoma team, and that is Kenma. This is the setter, and even though he's kind of a low energy person, kind of a foil to the Hinata type character, who's very high energy and bursting with jumping around and that little high energy ball of volleyball love, basically. Kenma is very reserved and quiet, but he is very sharp and very smart, and he kind of is the brain of the team, and he's leading Nekoma right now, advancing them to almost certain victory, as Karasuno is really struggling to get their game going and to get things set up in the way that they need things set up for them to win set 2 and hang on, stay alive in this game. Overall, I love this series. I've been loving the narration choice where we have the narrators of the entire tournament, the people broadcasting this to the fictional people of Japan. Well, people exist in Japan, but like the fictional broadcast to the fictional spectators are more or less some of the narration. And I do really enjoy that addition to the game. And I enjoy that additional narration style. I think the tension's there, the game's gotten started. I like that we know all the characters, so there's a lot of relationship and history that the author can build on. And overall, I thought that volume 35 was a very strong addition to the series. Now, this series, sorry, not the series. This volume ends on a cliffhanger. They all end on a cliffhanger, but this author, Haruichi Furudate, does not really hold back on leaving us hanging, so I would recommend having volume 36 ready so you can continue, because it's literally mid-game that this thing ends. Mid-set. The author's not pulling any punches here. Well, yeah. So definitely have volume 36 ready, but overall, I enjoyed volume 35, and if you read it, I hope you do as well. If you have any thoughts or comments on the series thus far, or volume 35, please leave it in the comments below. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.